How's it going, everybody? Today we're going to be painting the Deep Cuts Pit Fiend. Now, I know this is for Pathfinder, not D&D, but I'm actually going to paint him like I would paint my red dragon. I want to do a base coat of heavy red to get his whole body completely heavy red. And then I'm going to paint his chest piece here like the scales of a dragon. I'm assuming that a Baylord and a dragon got it on, and this is what we've got. We got a pit fiend that's going to be I think a pit fiend and a red dragon. I think red dragons get busy down in hell, stuff like that. So today I'm going to start off by doing a base coat, and then we're going to use like heavy ochre to really on his chest piece here, so it's going to be like underbelly of scales. And then I was thinking about doing black, like Darkness from Legend, but I don't like that idea. I like this guy to be more of an amalgamation of a devil and a red dragon. So I'll probably paint some plates here, like his under armor plates, heavy ochre, so we can see like the underbelly of a red dragon. And that's what we're gonna do today. So welcome to the Blood Oyster Cult channel, and we're going to go ahead and get started painting. Alright, now let's go ahead and get started. We're going to use heavy red. Now I use a couple of brands. I use Vallejo. I have one Citadel, and I've got one Army Painter. My two favorites are going to be the Army Painter and the Vallejo, but Citadel's great too. I'm not a big fan of the pots, but when I first started painting, which was only like a little over a year ago, I didn't know which one to buy, so I kind of had to make do. And with the whole pandemic, colors have been kind of hard to get a hold of because they're from Spain, I guess? I don't know. But we're just going to put that in our wet palette right there, as you can see. hard part's going to be is he's got some horns right here. The horns coming off his chest. Create little pockets. So just get your brush in there. And push down, yeah. Okay. Got to stand him up. Now I tried something new this time. I'm going to pause and speed up and all that fun stuff. So I'm not going to let you guys wait around for the drying time. I'm just going to go ahead and I'll put him in front of a fan, let him dry, and then we'll come back. Alright, now he is dry. I didn't think you guys want to watch him dry. You're going to notice as you kind of go through, I missed a couple spots. Not a big deal. I've also cleaned up my wet palette here. So I'm just going to take my smaller brush. Oop, I got a bit smaller brush. That's alright, we can fix that. Use my little detail brush. Okay. Then we'll just get some more red. I'll put it like in the middle. Like that. Alright. So just doing little touch-ups here and there. Like I said, you're gonna find times when you miss a spot, which is no big deal. We're just gonna go in there and get that. Then also want to make sure in between his belly, you see a couple white a little bit of lines in there that the paint didn't get through, or maybe when it dried. Because when the paint dries, it's going to contract. And what it's going to do is going to come up areas that maybe wasn't thick enough and expose the primer line. And we don't want that. Okay. That's why some model people decide they want to use a spray primer. Because the spray gets all up in there. And base coats and stuff like that. But I'm not professional, so I'm okay. Again, I want to paint his horns red as well, because if, let's say, when you're doing the horn color and you misjudge how far the red should go up on the horn, you don't want to see that primer line. And when you have a miniature that's full of color, like this one is, those primer lines will not just stand out, they will shout out your mistakes. That was like a little wrap that ran across. And then the kiddos are awake and out and about. So you're probably going to hear them. Alright, now we're just going to go ahead and now we're done touching it up. We're going to take our black wash. Now, the pots are good, I guess you'd say, in the sense that you don't have to use a palette for them. So we're just going to reshape this. Reshape our brush. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to use a black wash. You can use any black wash. They're all the same. It's just watered down black ink or black paint. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just douse this guy with black wash. What that's going to do is going to get in every crevice and really make all the pieces pop out. If you don't like washes, which is totally fine, you're always welcome to paint in layers. I've done that with a couple of my models. I'm getting better at it. It's just this one right here, I'm not good enough to do that yet. I don't think I have the patience for it. But you would just work your way up from the ground, like red, and then keep going up brighter. So this right here, to give you an example, kind of give you a reference point, this red we painted with as a base would be too bright. You want to go with kind of like a cobalt or a charred red, almost a brown, because as you start to build up that layers, as you start to go up the color spectrum from here, you're going to notice that you're going to be hitting pink essentially. There are different washes you can use for different scenarios. Like you have a flesh wash. We're going to use a sepia wash on his tummy. But I really wanted to make sure that the skin underneath, because I want the color we're about to use for his tummy, the heavy ochre. I really wanted the heavy ochre to be like armor plates. And what that'll do is it'll give the illusion that his armor is his plates, his dragon ancestry. Okay, so you see how we're doing this. All right, and just make sure you don't make sure you go through and look for any pooling effects. If your paint was too wet or still wet when you apply this, it'll kind of cloudy, get milky. That's not a huge deal because you can just fix that later on. It just means you need to be a little more patient when you come to your models, because you can start actually mixing it, and then you'll have to go back and restart over. And remember, paint, even the best paints add layers. So the more layers you add to the paint job, you're going to cloud and get rid of a lot of the details. So try not to make too many mistakes if you can. Okay. And it's also going to bring the color down on this model when the when this wash dries. You see how his wing looks after you get that wash there? And make sure you get those recesses, okay? That's going to really make the model pop. The figurine pop, whatever this thing is called. Okay, see how his tail? When I start adding the wash to the tail, all the scales are going to really come popping out, which is what we want. Now, if you were a professional painter, which I am years and years away from ever thinking I could even sit in the same room as one. Let me do that forgot I got the little cutout right there. I don't want you guys to miss. I'm also make sure you get it on this crotch area. Make sure you get all his thigh. This is where the highlighting thing is going to be really much of a, it's going to be a real pain because, yeah, because you'd have to go through every single scale, whereas the wash just gets it all in one fell swoop. And just look for pools. All right, so we got the whole thing washed. Now we're just going to look for pools of wash and try to push them through the crevices. See how that looks? All of a sudden now his muscles are really popped out. Think I've got wet paint still on his tummy, but that's okay. I'm going to sepia wash it. Let's get his feet. And I'm going to employ a trick of just putting this in front of a little tiny fan on my desk to let it dry. That way we can speed this process up, because my biggest problem is I've got a family that kind of likes me and they want to spend time with me. Alright. I am happy with where we're at. Alright, so next what we're going to do is I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to let him dry. See how the wash really popped him out. I'm going to let him dry, and then we're going to come back. Alright, so you see our wash has dried. And I know a lot of people are going to be concerned about how dark it is. And that's fine, because the real thing we're looking for here is we're going to go ahead and we're going to dry brush. So if those don't know about dry brushing, it's really simple. You're going to take a very bright color. So we're going to use this one. Now, I painted the tops of my bottles so you can see the difference in color. My camera probably shows both of them exactly the same color, but it's funny. This one's going to be a lot brighter. So we're going to just put a little bit in here. You can see how brighter it is, or camera still shows the same. And we're going to take a brush. Now, he's a big guy, so we'll use a combination of two brushes. I'll use one like this size when I get into more detail, and I'm going to use a bigger one like this. And we're going to do something that kind of sounds very counterintuitive. And that's going to be, we're going to put some paint on a dry brush, and we're going to just brush most of it off. And see how you can see now you can see the ridges now compared to when we first started drying. And then we're just going to start making our way up the body, trying to stay away from the horns this time, because the horns we're going to use heavy ochre. Missed a little bit of this horn. Got a little bit on this one. I keep red. That's easy to fix. I'll paint over the red here because I made a mistake. Now I'll put a little wash on brush and take that color back down, which will be fine. So the paint dried really fast, which is good. So knees aren't coming off. The nails are all good. Oops, missed the under part of this. A little red on there still. No problem. We'll do the back side of these horns. All right, now his tail's gonna be tough. I'm not gonna do his tail, the undercolor, a certain way because there's no real natural line delineation. If there was this ridge right here was a little different, I might do it. But again, I'm using this more as armor. Like, that's his armor piece. If I did his shoulders, he doesn't have any really horns protruding out his back. I think if you do the shoulders, I think that'd be too much heavy ochre. I would not recommend it. Now, well, nah, I think I'm going to leave it red. I think it's a nice subtle hint. Okay. All right, now the paint's dry, which is great. So let's go do his toes.
Painting?
Painting. Hello, Strife.
Oh, are you streaming this?
I'm recording it for our YouTube channel. Yeah. I went on here so you guys could talk to me if you wanted to.
Yeah, that's what I assumed.
What you doing?
I was watching TV.
I didn't think you watched TV, honestly.
I do watch TV. Watch all kinds of TV. TV's not bad.
I can't stand it. I don't watch TV.
Yeah, you used to watch TV.
I used to before I had kids and I had a lot of free time. Now it's like I got to compartmentalize all my free time into different hobbies.
I know, you're just always busy.
You know, that is a very true statement. It's funny as like with all this pandemic stuff and not being able to play at a table, I'm still buying minis like crazy, you know?
Oh, hopefully the prices are down then.
Oh, these guys are not that expensive. Like this guy right here, unpainted, it's $15.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's nothing.
Why don't you just get a 3D printer and make your own?
The 3D printer technology for consumers is not there yet. The plastic is not as sturdy as it should be. So it does bend quite a bit, and it doesn't come out as good as you want it to. Like, and you're talking like for medium sized ones, like this guy right here. This is an unpainted one. I'm letting Dana paint. You get two of these for $5, and they don't melt as easily. So it's cost effectively, it's not there. And then if you want to custom make one, even if you did a cost analysis of like what is it called? Go on a Hero Forge and just, you know, using their stuff and doing their thing, then it's still not as cost effective.
No, sure.
So yeah, that's why.
Plastic molds, no big deal.
I'm debating if I want to tone down the chest piece. What do you think? Think I should leave it bright?
I have zero artistic talent or knowledge, or if it's art, don't ask me.
You know, I'm gonna do his toes and see if I like that. That way, I'm I'm not hurting anything by doing that.
I was in my early 20s when I finally figured out how to match my clothes. Okay, just calm down with this art stuff.
Touche.
I still don't
So,
wear matching socks all the time. Who's gonna look at my socks? Come on.
seriously, right? Well, was it like ever since watching what is that movie called? Shawshank Redemption. I look at people's shoes now.
That was a good movie.
So that's his toes. What do you think? Think the brighter knee or the darker toes?
It all looks the same to me.
Gotcha. I'm gonna go ahead and darken it up. Let's do the knee. See if that makes it look better.
I think the colors are fine.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think I'm gonna get a lot of detail washing this.
Is that a Baylor or something?
So it's a pit lord from Pathfinder.
Gotcha.
Well, the funny thing is, like, I didn't know this till after I bought a bunch of figurines that even though they're all Nolzers in Wizkids, they make ones for D&D and Pathfinder, which makes sense. But if you don't like pay attention to the package, you're like, wait, that's not a Baylor. What the hell? Well, it's a pit lord from that. So the reason the color scheme I made him for was I assumed a pit fiend or a Baylor mated with a red dragon. So this is my red dragon scheme.
Ahaha, I see.
I thought you guys would get a kick out of that.
No, that stuff's really cool. I honestly, if I was sitting tabletop and, anytime a freaking crazy monster comes out, you're just like, here you go. You're like, dude, like that'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Instead of our usual where we use dice.
Oh, yeah, no. The mini game with me has gotten a lot different.
We used dice for so long.
Oh, yeah, that was rough. That was rough. You're like, what is what again?
I mean, as long as you knew that, like, D6s, like, if you used the dice to just, like, all right, D6s are going to be, the minion kind of guys. Oh, these D20s, oh, yeah, those are big guys. Like, as long as you have some kind of scheme with it, where people understand the more sides on the dice, the tougher the foe, it makes it easy.
Oh, yeah. Well, for me, it was like I got really excited about that augmented reality that they tried to introduce. That way, it's like a budget of like, hey, I can't afford all these figurines, space or money or time or whatever, but I really want to like add that to my game. It's like, oh, what about augmented reality? Like, you put down the base and then everyone pulls their phone out and they can see what's what.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, that's great and all, but then once you start introducing like phone use in the game, oh man, you talk about people not paying attention. Arguments start getting because, hey, I wasn't paying attention. What just happened? It's like, dude. So my idea here was that the underbelly, his chest piece, would be like the underbelly of a red dragon, but like I'm using like armor. So his body created natural underbelly armor like a red dragon would.
Holy crap. I just found a website for you, Chaz. I don't want you to spend your money.
Why? What's that?
So you know what loot crates are, right?
Oh, yeah, I know.
Monthly loot crates for figurine miniature painting.
I already looked at it. It's one with Realmsmith?
No, this is the European one. Because it's all in pounds.
Yeah, the loot crate for Realmsmith was really cool looking. But those things are really expensive.
What is DungeonCrate.com?
Yeah, there's Dungeon Crate. Yeah, that's a good one. They're all really cool, great idea. The problem is that the pandemic they're all kind of like postponing a lot because suppliers are having a hard time keeping up. Which now would be the time to do that because with everyone being stuck at home.
Yep. At-home activities you can make a lot more money on.
I would, low myself out to the heels to make sure, right now is the time to do all that. Okay. Now,
What's funny is, pandemic or no, you'd be doing the same thing.
oh, yeah. Yeah, jokes on COVID. I was sedentary before you showed up. Yeah, it's funny how, like, with D&D, how much our, like, views on things change with these characters.
Sure.
And then I know I was like, when I bought this guy, I'm thinking, oh man, players gonna be mad when I paint him because then I want to get my money's worth. I'm gonna use him. Oh yeah, that really came out perfect. That sepia wash is gonna come in and kind of tone down the heavy ochre. It's kind of a tutorial painting thing you kind of stumbled upon, but I think it adds a flair when friends kind of talk. That's why I thought I'd throw it on there.
Sure.
Okay.
Also keeps you more entertained.
Absolutely. It's funny as I'll forget that I'm painting on camera, so I will
Pick your nose.
Like, no, I'll be over here on the side like painting because the light's better here, and then I look up and I'm way off camera. So.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, that's annoying. All right, so now I'm going to use pale yellow. The hard part of this guy is his eyes are hard to find. So I got to find his eyes. There they are. They're going to be right there. So, God bless. I'm going to need to... Ooh. Hold on one second. This horn didn't turn out the way I wanted. Let's get this guy back to painted. That's kind of the funny part. Like, if you ever see that movie... Ready Player, not Ready Player One, sorry. Damn it, what is it called? Indie Game the movie.
Nope, you watch more TV than me.
It's not TV. It's a movie.
It's not TV. It's a movie.
It's true.
Oh my gosh! What do you typically watch movies on? Maybe a television?
Actually, right here on my monitor. I watch more stuff here than I do on my big screen TV. It's funny, like how much money I've invested in my big screen TVs in this house, and yet how I look at tiny little screens in my computer more than anything else.
Yeah, I was about to say, you've always liked movies, and you're talking about how you don't watch TV. I'm thinking, I think he may like TV. Just you don't watch TV shows.
There we go.
You watch movies.
Yep. So I use pale yellow to add for the eyes. Get them in there.
Let's see it.
It's going to be hard for you to see because it's... But you can see the little dots.
Yeah, I can't really see it. That's okay.
Yeah. Just imagine I did a great job.
I'll imagine.
Oh, well, don't worry. I'll imagine.
Oh, I got a good imagination. I'm using all of it right now, actually.
Using all of your imaginations. All right, then I'm going to take a little bit of Rust Monster, Fire Orange, whatever brand you use. And I'm going to just do a little dab right there. And then I'm going to take a little dot. That's a little too much. Take a little dot. Oops. These bristles are a little came a little apart. There we go. And I'm gonna take a little dot. We're gonna put it right in that yellow. A little dot. That's why you gotta hold your breath like you're shooting a damn gun.
Well, you're trying to be precise.
Yep. Made a little mistake. That's okay. Fix it. Right there. Okay. Ta-da. Does his eye pop out better? Yeah, a little bit better. See him?
Yeah, I kind of see it.
Yeah. And let's go ahead and do That's pretty much it. I think he turned out really well. I'll do his base later. Probably just do well, actually I can do it real fast right now. We'll just dry brush. We'll paint, actually, no, we'll paint it red. We'll dry brush it black. What that'll do is the dry brush technique, Phil, will actually just get the highlights, and the red will stay underneath as a base coat, and kind of make it look like the ground is breaking open as he's been summoned, and it's all red underneath there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Problem is his paint's still a little sticky, so I'm trying to hold him. That's the thing that sucks, like trying to get these figurines without tearing the paint off you just did. I gotta see. I'm off camera. See. That's my problem. Not boogers, but hey, what are you doing over there? I don't know. All right. And some people actually, I'm actually started adding more. What is it called? I've started adding like terrain effects to the minis. It's like some of my minis have grass and stuff like that and pebbles.
On that bottom part, it's cool. Yeah. Like if you got a grass type Pokemon.
What? Are you trying to get into Pokemon?
What? No, I know that they're grass type. My little sister, you remember her?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know she's in her mid-20s now.
Oh, getting old there, sir. Getting old.
She turned 26 this year.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. She finally got her driver's license.
What is with you smart people, man? Like, you guys, like, have a hard time adulting.
What do you mean? I was driving to your house when I was 18. I think I met you when I was 18.
Something like that. It's like when you worked at Walgreens, yeah?
Yeah, well, yeah, because TJ was there.
Yeah. That's how we met you, right? It was Walgreens.
No. Met him through JD.
Oh, see, I thought it was Walgreens.
No, that's why I applied at Walgreens, was
Got
because
it.
TJ. No, I met... So, JD brought TJ over to play D&D, and to my house. I remember playing it. We played in my room on a small table. We played D&D, and we had a good time, and TJ invited us to come play D&D with you guys, which pretty much happened right afterwards. That was during the summer of 2004.
That was only 16 years ago.
That was the summer of 2004.
Yeah.
And in October of 2004 is when I started at Walgreens. Yep, we started playing, and I ran the birthright game for, one session with you and Alan. Literally, all you wanted to do was fucking kill each other and everybody else.
Yeah, well, that's why I don't get too mad when you guys kill all your NPCs, because I remember the crap you had to put up with me.
Y'all were like, alright, we want blood.
Yep.
That's the point, right? Birthright. We want to get stronger. It's like,
that's not how that works.
It's part of the game, but you don't go assassinate people. You go to jail. You'll get caught. Didn't one of you actually go to jail?
Probably.
I don't remember. And
Probably.
all you guys, you were like laying in wait in someone's room, ready to freaking murder them.
Oh yeah.
You and Alan both were just murder happy. Like, we're gonna kill everybody and get stronger.
Oh yeah, that does sound like me. Even now when I play my RPG games, that's what I do. I forgot. I'm also gonna dry brush black on the edge of the wings, like they've been singed.
Oh.
Forgot about that. Yeah, I did a red dragon, and that was one of the things I thought was like really cool. I watched one guy do it where he did the same thing, and the only thing he did differently I didn't do is he made his underbelly a little lighter, which is not a big deal, and then he added black stripes to the skin. Not like kind of, I guess, like tiger, I guess you'd say. So yeah, see how that really makes that wing pop out. So just dry brushing, getting that. Because it's funny is like with 5th edition, there's actually more hell stuff. What? Oops, overpainted in dry brush.
I'm back. My Discord cut out for a minute.
Oh, it's funny like how much like in in the old editions you didn't go to hell much. That was really reserved for like the hardcore players. But now it's like, oh yeah, we can go to hell. Let's go chill there for a while.
Yeah, I never got to play through any hell stuff. Got to read through it in books, but I never got to play through any hell stuff.
Yeah, well, that's the hard part. It's like in those with the way we DM'd back in those days when we were not the best DMs.
We're all in our early 20s.
Yeah, see how that black on the edge of the wings really makes that wing.
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, you don't want it to just be monotone.
Yep. Lines of delineation. That is the name of the game. Now...
Chaz, you can't speak words over 6 letters. Don't you dare.
Oh, don't I dare. I know. This whole, like, vocabulary thing. So now, dry brush the base with black. And... you'll see how the red stays at in the recesses. Another kind of bigger word.
For you.
Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't read the dictionary for fun, so sorry.
Don't make fun of what I did as a kid, alright?
What are you talking about? You probably do it still. See?
No.
Now the base looks kind of like lava. Kind of like the ground broke open and he's coming out of there. Alright, so he is done. Another one of the books. Hope everyone liked them. And I will see you next time.